Shalom everyone, it's Kol Torah, online, on the phone and online. And again, I would like to thank Jason for his great job broadcasting Kol Torah live. I would like to take a prayer that we recite on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, but as well as every day. And just to give it a little bit of a perspective, really from Rosh Hashanah. And the prayer is Adon Olam Asher Malach, very famous prayer that we recite on a daily basis every morning. We know the song, we know the tune, but I would like to give a little bit of a focus and emphasis on the words and the concepts that we have in this very, very special prayer. We start with Adon Olam Asher Malach, meaning a master of the universe who reigned, Beterem Kol Yetzir Nivra, before any form was created. Now it's a very interesting concept. God was the master of the world and he reigned, he had the kingdom, even before everything was created. It's a very interesting concept because we always view a king or a ruler or someone who has the domain and the power only if he has servants or someone that works for him. It's a little bit hard to imagine a master or a king that has no servants. But that's the uniqueness of God. The uniqueness of God is that He was the king. And He is the king even if there are people there or creatures or even if there is no one there. There is nothing in a way in His essence as a king, as the master of all universe, that it really depends on us. But nevertheless, the next sentence says, Le'et na'asa bechefzo kol, azai melech shmo nikra. English translation is, at the time when His will brought all into being, then as king was His name proclaimed. And I would like to focus on that sentence. But first, I would like to take a step back, to digress for a second, and to talk about one component of Rosh Hashanah. As we know, Rosh Hashanah is the day of judgment. Yom Hadin, the day of judgment. As we say, we are all being judged on this day, on Rosh Hashanah. But nevertheless, there is another component to Rosh Hashanah. It's a day of Hamlacha. It's a day that we crown God as a king on us. We proclaim publicly that God is the king and we would like to serve our king. We also wish that God will be not only our king, but also will be the king of all. Bayom hahu, on that day, Yeh Hashem echad u'shmo echad. On that day, God will be one and His name will be one. And yakiru v'yeidu kol yoshvei tevel. Everyone, all creatures of this universe will recognize and will know that God is the king. What does it mean that God is the king? What does it mean for us? It means that A is our leader. B, we have a king-servant relationship. But also, we also know that if God is the king and we are the servants, there is a mission statement that we need to carry, that we need to proclaim, that we need to impact other people in order to really create a kingdom for God. When we say that God is the king, that God is the melech, we believe that we need to unite ourselves and to, in a way, carry the flag that symbolizes God's kingdom, God's values, God's Torah, and to really try to imitate Him in order to bring glory and fame and respect to our King. These two sentences in Adon Olam symbolizes a very interesting concept. On one hand, God is the master of all the universe and He reigned over this universe even before anything was created. At the same time, He became a king, a real king, only when He created us. So on one hand, there is the understanding of God's greatness even without us. But at the same time, there is that partnership that is being created and formed and crafted only after we have been created. Only after we, so to speak, came into the picture, then God became a king, a melech. And in a way, melech, a king, in a way has some dependency on his servants. Because if we will take it to what I will call a very human eye, if someone says, oh, I am a king, the first question is, how many servants do you have? And if his answer is 0, we will tell him, you are not a king. In a way, when we view it from our own human perspective, a king is only someone who has servants, who serve him, and are willing to work for him, to be with him, to partner with him. So when we look at this sentence and we say, and le'et na'asa b'chefetz kol, after God created us, azai melech shmo nikra, only then he became a king. That means that now he has servants, now we have partnership with God. And that means that we need to walk, and we do influence that relationship between God and servants. Then the following sentence says, ve'acharei kichlot hakol, and after all has ceased to be, levado imloch nora, after God created everyone, and after he created all different powers and different authorities, still, levado, alone, imloch nora, he, the awesome God, will continue on to be the only king. When God created us and created this partnership, there is a chance that people will deviate a little bit from that king-servant relationship, and they will think that, you know what, maybe they are the king, maybe they have all the power, maybe they have all the authority. But this prayer said, this is not true. Levado imloch nora. Even though you look at the world and you think, oh my, this guy has so much power, this guy has so much authority, this lady is so authoritative, maybe they are the kings, maybe they maintain the power. Come Adon Olam and says to you, Levado imloch nora. Ve'u echad ve'ein sheni. He is the one and there is no one who you can compare to him. When we talk about God as a king, and when we crown God as a king on us, we need to understand. We are talking about two different levels. On one level, full submission to this great authority of God that was a king without us, or really had the domain over this universe without us. But then there is the second component. There is this mutual relationship of respect and partnership, that God became a king because we, the servants, crown him as a king on us and recognize his kingdom. This Rosh Hashanah, we need to read this prayer with a tweak, with a different perspective, understanding that this is a day not only of judgment, but also a day of hamlacha, of crowning God as a king on us, with these two components in mind. One, understanding God's greatness without us, then understanding God's greatness with us as partners. Shana Tova, have a good, sweet, healthy New Year to you and to your families.